this episode of Destination Truth. Josh leads his team on a treacherous adventure to a remote section of the Great Wall of China. Locals there say the spirits of thousands of dead Chinese soldiers haunt the massive structure.
There's the danger of being possessed by these evil spirits.
With incredible evidence.
You just touched my backpack?
I didn't touch your backpack.
That scared the out of me.
Josh taps Jason and Grant of the Ghost Hunters to help him determine if the Great Wall of China is home to an army of ghosts.
That's everything we look for in a solid EVP.
Next, Team Truth journeys to a small fishing village in Israel where reports of a real-life mermaid are making headlines.
It had a nose and eyes and hair and mouth. It's like a human face.
In the stormy waters of Israel, Josh and his team have an encounter with something they cannot explain.
Right there, what's that?
It looks like shoulders and a head.
I'm Josh Gates. In my travels, I've seen some unexplainable things, and I've done some things I can't quite explain. Now, I've pulled together a team armed with the latest technology in the search for answers to the world's strangest mysteries. I'm not sure what's out there waiting for me, but I know what I'm looking for. The truth. These days, it seems like just about everything we buy is made in China. From clothes to electronics, we purchase endless exports from the Far East. But there is one thing made in China that is a true original and could never be exported. I'm talking, of course, about the Great Wall. Massive, majestic, and unmoved since construction began in the 5th century, it is an engineering feat without equal. This barricade once sealed off the entire northern border of China from its Manchurian and Mongolian enemies. It is a landmark, a symbol of Chinese ingenuity, and perhaps even haunted. Though the Ming Dynasty wall stretches for more than 4,000 miles across, Beijing is a bustling modern urban center that still manages to retain age-old customs. Walking through China's capital, I seized the opportunity to really fit in with the locals.
This is incredible.
Feels luxurious. It became clear that communication could be a problem here. Is this a real panda? Fever time? Fever Kid. It is real panda? Sir, you're under arrest. We continued on our way to my first interview, passing through China's historic Forbidden City, once home to the emperor of the Ming Dynasty who commissioned the section of the wall in question. More than 40,000 tourists stream through this ancient palace every day. I took it upon myself to share what little I knew about the Forbidden City by leading a tour. Right this way, guys. All of this was built by the Walt Disney Corporation in 2006 as part of a Chinese theme park. We have a water park opening as well called China Beach. Feel free to take any of the bricks that you see or any marble pieces you can peel off. I don't have all day, all right? I got another tour, starts in 25 minutes. China is the oldest civilization on Earth, and I'd always wanted to experience its rich culture. My cameraman, Evan, was excited to be here for an entirely different reason.
This is where they do Kung Fu movies. I've been watching Kung Fu movies since I was a kid.
Okay, what do you got?
One's the crane. One's snake fist. One's monkey paw. Flying guillotine. Ready?
Yeah. And then what, the hat kills me?
Yeah, chops your head off.
As darkness fell, we finally met up with Dr. Joe Bean, a professor of history who knows the reports that ghosts of Chinese warriors still walk the Wild Wall. Do you think that the Great Wall of China is a haunted place?
能够产生灵体的这个环境跟它的地质是有关系的场景来讲。
It was actually rumored that a lot of people were buried within the Great Wall. There are certain areas that have a higher incidence of paranormal activity. One of those areas was called Genko. That was a very treacherous section of the Great Wall. A lot of people were hurt or died building that part. If you go looking for this sort of thing, there's the danger of being possessed by these evil spirits.
The only evil spirits I was worried about were the ones rumbling in my empty stomach. So we ended our night in Beijing's infamous night market, where the things you bite just might bite you back. Sir, do you have any that are more, dead? That's the great thing about China. Everything can be made into something.
Silkworm, very good.
You know who loves silkworms? This one. So let's have one of those. Cheers. That has a strong and unexpected taste.
Bam!
Bam, 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 bam. Yeah!
That actually tastes pretty good.
6 more scorpions for my friend here. With bellies full of creepy crawlies, we headed off to bed. The next morning, we began our journey to the Genko section of the Great Wall. The trip would take us 50 miles north, up winding, narrow dirt roads. From there, we'd have to continue on foot for a demanding 5-mile hike up steep, icy terrain to reach this potentially supernatural hotspot. Along the way, we stopped at the Ming Tombs, where I arranged to speak with Ge Wei, a local folklore expert who has a theory about why these long-dead soldiers are still on active duty.
There is actually a specific belief about this. During the Ming Dynasty, there were some wars being fought. These soldiers were very far from their home. Because of that, their souls were trapped.
And what do the villagers living there make of the recent deaths that happened on the wall?
They definitely feel like there's something going on, and there's some negative connotation associated with evil spirits in the area.
We headed to the small village of Shichatsa, tucked against the mountainside below the wall. Residents there refuse to go up to the battlements, claiming they are haunted. Along the way, we realized this vehicle might not have been the right choice for China's rough terrain.
Rex, try not to fall asleep back there. I know it's like driving on a pillow.
Super relaxing.
As the roads went from narrow to hazardous, we were unable to go any further, so we unloaded our gear from the Jeep.
Black backpack. Swiffer. World War II fuel container. Bottle of moonshine. Tiny fire extinguisher. Ryder, did you pack this car?
Yes.
We transferred everything into a more localized mode of transportation to take us the final leg of our journey.
To the Great Wall!
To the Great Wall! I keep telling Bobby not to pick up Chinese hitchhikers. The man never listens.
It's right up here, Bobby. I don't speak Chinese, but he pointed, so I figured that means the same thing, right?
We finally arrived in the small village, and after setting my sidecar aside, I walked up into this rural community where life seems to go on as it has for centuries. I was eager to speak with some of the residents here and get their perspective.
If you go alone up to the wall, what do you think will happen?
The villagers themselves, they'll never go alone. They'll always go with at least one other person to feel safe. If you went up alone, they believe something very unfortunate would happen.
This man refuses to go to the wall after a relative had a close encounter.
One of the brothers just started spinning around uncontrollably.
And what do they think caused this?
They believe that he was possessed by an evil spirit.
He pointed us to the trail the hikers had recently followed to the wild wall, only to fall mysteriously to their deaths. This area is now off limits to the public, and we ascended 5 miles up a dangerously steep and icy ridge. Here, the original builders forced the battlements to hug steep mountains, making this the most treacherous section of the Great Wall in all of China.
I don't know about Great Wall, it's certainly inconvenient.
At the top, we were finally able to appreciate just how improbable this structure really is. The wall stretches like a stone ribbon as far as the eye can see and is truly a wonder to behold. We needed to follow its curves to reach the area where the hikers died and where ghosts are reported. Unfortunately for us, whole spans of the wall that we needed to cross had crumbled away.
Wall's out.
What's the next step?
Either you can jump that, or we need the climbing ropes.
Okay, let me get a running start.
Get the ropes.
With our climbing harnesses rigged, we cautiously began the descent along this unstable section.
Wow, that is just a vertical drop right there. Whoa, 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 whoa. I got it.
Oh my God. Oh, Mom, I love you. No! Oh my God. Oh, Mom, I love you. No!
Ryder! You okay, Ryder?
I am now. I lost all confidence. Oh, that was so scary.
With Ryder right side up and safe and sound, we lowered our gear and the rest of our team. We hiked on, and with nightfall approaching, we were about to be the first expedition in history to spend the night investigating these supernatural claims.
We got some protection from the wind here. This seems like a great spot for base camp. It's going to be dark soon. Let's get the cameras strung out. We'll get a fire going. Ryder, you try not to fall off anything else?
No promises.
As the sun went down, we began setting up our operation in the frigid darkness. After building base camp along the center of the wild wall, we established surveillance. The Great Wall is broken up by guard towers. We cabled 4 infrared cameras along the wall and into several of these towers. Further along the wall, we placed several trap cameras that would take photos if anything crossed in front of them. Vanessa would be stationed at base camp, monitoring the cameras throughout the night.
Let's talk about our plan for the night. We know that there is a belief